Yeah, it was definitely the quickest kind of turnaround I think I've had in offensive coordinators. But, obviously, we totally understand. Coach O'Brien had to do what he had to do, and, it made a lot of sense for him and his family. So, yeah, I mean, there was no love lost at all. But, I think that the move we made with getting Coach Kelly as quick as we did was showed you as much how invested Coach Day is in this year and how much we've invested in this year, because that's a heck of a hire, and he's a really good dude to be around and to learn from. First impressions of Coach Kelly? Really, really smart dude. It's kind of cool for me. I grew up an Eagles fan, so he was the head coach of the Eagles for when I was in middle school and high school. So, I'm getting to work with somebody who coached my team growing up, and just ton of knowledge. Has been around, knows everyone, and his schemes are really, really quarterback friendly. I think that the things that he does are easy, and it's not a lot of manipulation. It's how can we get as many yards as possible without any strain, and it's good. It's a lot of really good stuff that he's done.
Spring practice starts tomorrow. There's always, you're obviously new here, but there's always a very high level of expectation for Ohio State. I don't know that's ever been higher than it is this year, given what happened last year and who you've got. How much do you embrace that?
Yeah, I mean, we embrace it every day, and that's kind of we know how much is on the line, and we know how much we've already kind of given to this season, and how much we've invested in this team. And I think we had a really, really good winter. I think just the way the guys were brought in, the leadership that we have on this team, the amount of guys that decided to come back, that decided to come to this program, it's exciting, and we know what's on the line. We're chasing that 1% every single day, and at the end of the day, we know that our main goal is to win, and to win all of them, and that's the bottom line.
Not to compare this place to Kansas State, but have you recognized since you've been here, maybe a little bit different around here, just the things that go on around this program, the things you hear about this program?
Yeah, I mean, I think at Kansas State we did things really, really well, and I think that we won a lot of games. I think I said this last time, because of the culture that we had and the discipline and the type of guys in the locker room. But when you couple that with talent and just the intangibles that this team has, it's pretty special, because we won games that we shouldn't have won at Kansas State because of the guys that we had and the togetherness that we had. But we have that here, and we also have the talent. So I've never been a part of something like this, and I'm really excited to see where this leads.
When you say Chip Kelly has a quarterback-friendly offense, what does that actually mean?
Just easy throws. I think he does a lot of good stuff in the RPO world, and I think a lot of the things that he's trying to teach us is that we don't have to work harder. We just need to work smarter, and getting the ball out to these guys on the outside that we have and letting them go make plays in space, I think is going to be really big for us this year, and just putting me in the best position possible to basically, we're just the point guard out there. We just got to distribute the ball and get yards however we can.
Well, you've had to learn offenses before, obviously. You've been through that process. Mm-hmm. How much of it, when you're spending the previous 2 months reading it, translates with that you could go run the offense without ever actually repping it on the field? Yeah,
I'm a very hands-on learner. So, through you can sit there and read through the installs and the playbook as much as you want, but until you really do it, I feel like that's the best way to learn, and that's the best way that I learn. So I've been trying to, we've been trying to replicate some things with just, some walkthrough type scenarios, and I've been trying to visualize as much as I can and get up on that board and write things out, because that's really how I learn a little better. And I know it's going to be a big learning curve for me in the spring, because I played football, I played at a high level, but just being comfortable with the what we call things and how we read things, and how Coach Kelly teaches things, how Coach Day teaches things differently. I think this spring will be big for me to just kind of learn, just become more familiar with the system.
Does it feel, you're going to be on the field tomorrow, so maybe you don't know if you're going to feel like a freshman all over again. But are the nerves the same? Is there uncertainty about going out there, or because you've done all this before, you think there's a different edge to your game?
I came here. I got one more year, and I didn't come here to be nervous or to be timid or anything like that. I'm ready to go, and the fact of the matter is, it might not all be perfect. And I might make a few mistakes, but that's how I'm going to learn, and that's how we're going to learn as a team. There's nothing's too big for me. Nothing's too big for this team. Certainly not, spring ball. It's going to be a lot of learning across the board, but I'm excited for that. I want to embrace that, and that's the cool thing about this.
Well, I guess along those same lines, you came in Kansas State as a freshman and started games.
Yeah.
Now you're coming in here, your first spring, not as a freshman again, but different expectations, almost the same type of thing. We have to establish yourself. And what have you done the last couple months to maybe establish yourself, and how did you learn from that experience as a freshman to now?
Yeah, that's cool that you said that, because I went through that scenario in 2020 where I came in early. I was a young kid. I'd never done this before. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I ended up, it was COVID, so I didn't get as many reps as I barely got any reps, honestly, going into the season. I didn't know my left foot from my left shoe out there. Like, I was just completely lost. And, that, as much as that experience sucked in the moment, it taught me so much, because now I know how to attack it, and I know what I need to know when I go out there, what I need to, how to build relationships, how to become a leader. Like you said, I feel like one of the biggest things for me is relationships, because people aren't going to respect you. They're not going to listen to you if they don't know you. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And, at the end of the day, that's what I've been trying to focus on my first couple months here. I know I'm not going to come in right away and be barking and knowing what all is going on. I still, I'm figuring stuff out. But the best I can do is be encouraging to my teammates, have good relationships with everyone, and then that's where that starts. That's where I can feel like I start being a leader. But you don't want to come in here with, just yelling at people. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to listen to you until you have that baseline of a relationship, and they know that if they can respect me, they can trust me to do my job. Then I can go out there and bring them along when something's not right.
Has that included, like picking up dinner tabs here and there, like trying to show guys, like, hey,
sure, yeah,
I'm thinking about you, like,
yeah.
What does that entail, like building a trust in a 2-month period where now you have to be out there barking at guys because you're trying to win a national championship?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think a lot of it has to do with just hanging out outside of the facility, and even in the facility, just chopping it up with guys and guys I wouldn't normally talk to, whatever, I'm probably not going to hang with D linemen that much, but trying to hang out around JT and Jack and those guys, and just developing these relationships. And I went to the rodeo a couple weeks ago, brought a couple of the boys, and just little things like that, I think is step by step, that's how it has to start, because once we get out on the field, then that's when it's go time.
How well do you know the offense?
I know it pretty well. Obviously I haven't repped it yet. I think my knowledge of it is good. I feel comfortable with my knowledge of it. It's just going out there and actually doing it.
Has it changed much? You did have a couple weeks or whatever it was with Bill O'Brien, and now you got Chip Kelly, and they're all going to put their imprints on it to some degree. Has the offense changed, or is it just the Ohio State offense and not much?
I would say, we are who we are, and we're going to run what we run. Obviously, there's little tidbits here and there, little tweaks that each of them kind of threw in. But for the most part, we're going to run Ohio State's offense, and just with some wrinkles here and there. And it hasn't changed much. Foundationally, it's very similar, which has been good for me, because when I first got here, a lot of the base kind of things didn't change, but there's just some wrinkles here and there.
What's Chip's personality like, and how are you guys clicking? Because he's got a cool personality. Right?
He does. He's super down to earth and easy to talk to. I think that's one of the most important things that I've realized in my time as just a quarterback. And we spend so much time with our offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. It's so important to have that relationship, and if you don't, then things can go sideways, and I've experienced that. And I think the best thing about him is that he's just normal. He's a normal guy. He's gonna sit there and talk with us about whatever's going on. He's obviously very smart and football savvy, but what comes first is relating to us and to hanging out with us, and that's big.
To that point, how involved is Ryan Day now that he's got a quarterback's coach and actually got to call on the plays now, which obviously is a new thing for him?
Yeah, I don't know what it looked like before I got here, so I can't really compare it to what it used to be like. But I know that he he's trying to give Coach Kelly, the reins to a lot of what we're doing on offense. And I think that allows him to be more involved in special teams, even on the defensive side of the ball, and just kind of in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's what he wanted. That's why he hired Coach Kelly, was to do that. And I think it's going how he planned it.
But you heard Coach O'Brien was leaving, and then you heard Chip Kelly was coming in. How did you process all of that? And or was it a "are you kidding me" kind of situation? You're
it's
telling me. I mean, Chip Kelly's got a rep.
Yeah. No, believe me, it was. We kind of had the feeling that may be coming. With Coach O'Brien leaving, we kind of got word about it. Early. Had some thoughts. And kind of got a little word about it. We kind of had a feeling that was coming, but they obviously had a really, really good backup plan. And like I said, Coach O'Brien had to do what he had to do. And I think Coach Kelly is the best hire that we could have made. And the fact that we made it so quick, we had a plan. And Coach Day had a plan, and it worked out.
And when you say Chip Kelly, what's the first thing that comes to mind? You've been playing football for a while. You know of him, and so what was the first thing that came to mind knowing he was going to be your coordinator?
Man, that's tough. I think the first thing that came to mind was, I thought of those Oregon offenses that he used to run, and how prolific they were and how great their run and pass game was. And then, like I said, I grew up an Eagles fan. He coached the Eagles. That was really cool. Just there was a lot of different things that went into it. But I knew as soon as we hired him, he gave me a call that day, and I was like, man, this guy just seems really down to earth. Really, really nice guy. Seems like somebody I can just get along with well and work with well. So it's been really, really good.
Will, are you surprised that Jeremiah's a freshman?
Yeah. He's turned some heads this spring, and I know I said it last time, but yeah, he's going to be a really special player.
All right, well, thank you.